Hello everyone, Scootaloo here. I decided to do another fair video about Scootaloo, but this was actually asked by my girlfriend. She thought, how about that Tender Taps and Scootaloo were related, like twins? You have to admit though that Tender Taps and Scootaloo looks almost the same at the same, almost like the same fur color, mane color. So I thought it must be something in there. So you may ask, how suddenly that she and I thought that they could be twins, but they had never been reacted in as much as siblings in the show? Well, here's the part of the theory. She said to me that since it happens a lot in our world, that twins often get separated during birth, like parents perhaps are splitting up and that they go separate ways, and one parent takes one twin, another takes another twin, and they never see each other again. Well, perhaps many years later, but here's the part of it. Exactly don't know about where exactly Scootaloo, if she is actually originally from Clydesdale or from Ponyville. But I have to say it's very, very likely that she was born in Ponyville. Because if she's a twin sister to Tanotaps, it would be just one slight problem. If if the both parents are Pegasi, and perhaps one of them had an Earth pony in either of those pony sides in the family line, what happened if the Tanotaps is Earth pony and suddenly, since we all know only Pegasi, Alicorn, and other creatures can walk on clouds, if an Earth pony suddenly lands on a cloud, it fell right through it. So it is not very likely that both Tanotaps and Scootaloo was even born or lived in Clydesdale at the time. So that means Clydesdale is off the book. But what happened if that? Why do I still think that they could be related? Well, except for that they have the same eye colors, mane colors, it's like almost the same different personality. Even that, even though that is not possible for perhaps not even be related, but you have to admit it could be a chance they could be long lost twins. What if the parents decided to move away? What happened if the mother or the father took Scootaloo or Tanotaps and moved somewhere else? Or perhaps they just moved away and the father or the mother came back to Ponyville some time after without another parent to know about it. But here's another thing. What is that? What if that, since we all know that Scootaloo lives with both her parents, so that part that one parent was taking Tanotaps with her or him to some other place and move back to Ponyville is debunked. Since we know that Scootaloo lives with both her parents, it has not much how much we discuss about that, or if one of the parents came back to Ponyville. But that is very possible. But what if that the both parents couldn't handle twins? That means even both Tanotaps and Scootaloo were very calm as a baby, but raising twins, it means double incomes, perhaps double machines, diapers, food, anything they need for babies. What if they couldn't handle so much that to have twins were too much for their finance in the family, so they had to put Tanotaps for adoption. They only had enough money to to take care of one of the twins, so they had to decide which one should be put up for adoption, the son or the daughter. So they decided to take the son, Tentatabs, for adoption and put their names unknown on the papers. What if they put up an adoption to another family somewhere else in Ponyville, and they are only ones who knows that they are in fact Tentatab's parents, and his adopted parents has never revealed that he is adopted. It is very possible that his parents couldn't adopt him away because that they could not have afford to raise both twins. Even if they found out they're going to have twins, they were so excited, but then we would realize both they has not much has. If both the parents didn't have as much very straight income for the family, enough for rent, food, diapers, etc. for the both twins, because one baby has a lot of payment for all the things that the baby needs, diapers, food, toys, and other sort of things. But if twins, that equals with double other things. So if the parents didn't have a very much strong in finance to economics to pay for both things that they want to keep to both babies, but they realize their economics couldn't support both the babies and both the parents in both food and the supplies they need for the babies. What if that were like doctors' appointments that they had to pay for the babies, doctor's appointments, vaccinations, and that even though they get support from the social service system, but it's very likely that they had to make this very hard decision, like to put one of the babies in for adoption. So they decided to take the son rather than the Scootaloo. Even if the Tentatabs and Scootaloo has been living in the same town, with the same school, has been interacting with each other without knowing that they are in fact siblings. It is very, very much happened in our world. For example, in one case of store twins which I know, they were twin brothers. Both were separated at birth, but many years later they met. But here's another story about it. Both the twins actually was named married with a woman with the same name, and they had this almost the same fashion design of the clothes, almost like the same hobbies, almost the same type of work. That's kind of scary, but it's very interesting. But in this case, with Scootaloo and Tentatabs, I don't know. Tentatabs, he likes into acting and dancing, but Scootaloo, she's more opposite from that. But saying that they could be twins, I have to admit, is very interesting idea. Because most of the twins in the series we have seen so far is basically zero. We only know that the couple of siblings we know have been interacted very well is actually Shining Armor, Twilight, Celestia Luna, and many others. But this was actually were a very good theory that Tentatabs and Scootaloo could be twins. But if they were really twins and that they separated in birth, like one of the parents decided to take one of the twins with them and move somewhere else and move back. But why would that parent then decide to move back with the other partner, with the other parent, and be a family? There might be some part of that it might be different, but at the same time we don't know. But if the parents couldn't afford to pay to raise both the twins and decided to put their son for adoption, since they couldn't afford both their son and the daughter at the same time. Because the more children you have, it equals more of the high price of things that you need to pay for, like the food, toys, clothes, diapers, anything that babies need. It will always incur equally more in money. So perhaps they couldn't have, if they had to keep the boat, they decided to keep the both babies. What happened if the parents had to take another part-time job to pay off for the hospital bills and pay for the rents and sort of things? That could happen, but even if it happened, both parents would be very likely so exhausted, so tired after 2 times of work a day, and that they couldn't support it. So, if the parents decided to adopt away their son in order to could not afford both of them, I know that very likely that they both decided after some time after this adoption has gone through and that this family adopted 10 taps, and then perhaps a few years later to seeing him with his new family, they start to regret what they have done. But so far they could not really go back to it since it has been a number of years since Terrence Taps was adopted by this new family, and he's only can see his adopted parents as his true parents. That was I couldn't believe it could happen because these things happens a lot in our world. Sometimes parents long time afterwards regret what they have done and want to reconnect with their adopted child again. But sometimes it happens that they cannot afford for both the for the, all of their children. But that is basically what I believe in this theory that that Pentaps and Scootaloo could be siblings, long lost twins that were separated at birth. Well, everyone, if you have your own theory or at least your opinion about this, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is Scootaloo over and out.